Welcome to an episode of You Haven't Read What? I'm Krista.
And I'm Christina. Join us to explore unique genres, childhood favorites, and literary classics as we dive into each other's favorite reads.
Where one of us is very familiar with the book, the other is reading for the very first time. Let's go. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay.
It's been a day.
It's been a year.
Right? I was just telling Bob the other day, I was like, it feels like this year has gone so extremely slow, but at the same time, it's like the beginning of March already. Like obviously you guys are going to listen to this in 2 more months, which is going to be the beginning of May, if I can count. Can't count.
Calendar's difficult.
But yeah, like it's like this entire year has gone, like January was 5 months long.
Fair.
And then February sped up just slightly, but not by much. And now it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like why?
Yeah. But anyway, no time for small talk. We're going to get through 3 chapters
we've got
tonight.
Too much. Too much going on.
There's
Sorry.
a lot tonight. No.
We might go a little over.
Yeah. Apologize
I have
in advance.
2.5 pages of notes.
Oh, you there. I don't know what accent that was.
I don't either. Anyways.
All right. So last time we did chapters 12 and 13, which were the Patronus, if I can say that, and then Gryffindor versus Ravenclaw.
Yep.
Ooh, Quidditch is back. Tonight, we're going to plow through 14, 15, and 16, which are Snape's...
Wow. Sorry.
Okay, we need to start over now.
He can take that out. Anyways.
Nope. 14, 15, and 16, which are Snape's Grudge, the Quidditch Final, and Professor Trelawney's Prediction. Clearly, we're a little punch drunk tonight. Not actually drunk. No drinking. Just, I said it's been a day.
It's been a day.
Gotta go home and do my resume.
Woo-hoo.
Anyway, yeah, so starting with chapter 14, Snape's Grudge. My little summary is, we're back to Hogsmeade. Harry's a little selfish in this chapter.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot more to Snape's backstory
Yeah.
we get out of this.
Yes. I'm kind of excited because
This is a big chapter.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, it's the one that I have the most notes for. It's a page and a quarter.
Yep, me too.
But like, just to like start out, like there's so much extra security going on, which is very similar to the last book. Only this time they're not having to wait to have a teacher walk them anymore. It's like Harry's being surrounded by people and so on and so forth. And so it's just kind of weird in that way.
And we have the trolls.
Yeah. Like,
Here's your adult tongue-in-cheek joke for the night. The trolls are comparing their club sizes.
I know I read that. I was like,
I giggled.
That's actually funny.
But we have trolls patrolling outside now.
Yep. But they're outside of the
portrait.
Comet. Yeah.
They're outside the portrait.
Okay, yeah.
And the fat lady is back.
Okay.
She's very nervous. But I'm proud of her. Good for you coming back.
Exactly. Standing up for herself in her
You
portrait.
went through an ordeal, ma'am. You take all the time you need, but proud of you.
Yeah, for sure. And I like that her portrait got sewn back together or fixed or whatever.
Magically, yeah, whatever.
Yep. But yeah. So why is Filch carrying around wood, hammer, and nails when he's filling little cracks even a mouse couldn't fit through?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Filch doesn't know what to do. And so he's like, I can fill holes. It's like, well, okay.
Right, but isn't the castle like made out of stone?
Yeah.
So how?
I mean, I'm sure there's wood supports or
like,
wood window
just
frames.
Have somebody walk around that has magical powers and be like,
also, do we really think Sirius Black came in through a mouse hole?
No, not at all. I think I know where he came from.
Ooh. We'll get to that later. Yeah. I'm very curious about that.
But I like how Harry's like, well, he obviously can't be coming through the witch, like the one-eyed witch. He can't be coming through Honeydukes.
There's Dementors out there.
There's no way. Exactly. I'm like, okay. Harry's not super with it. And then why, like, so Ron asks the question, why didn't Black just kill him, then move on to Harry? Like, why didn't that happen? So I think that's a big question. And I don't know why, and I don't understand why. And you're being mean to me.
Being mean to you. I am not.
Anyways.
But also... Yeah, Harry's first thought with the one-eyed witch is, I'll never be able to go back to Hogsmeade then.
Right.
And I'm like, that's a little selfish.
Right. Yep, for sure.
So there's, you'll notice a trend in this chapter. Selfish note number 1, check.
Right.
Harry's really selfish in this chapter.
Yeah.
So that's the first one.
But he's also a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
So can't blame him. But Hermione saying...
I'm going to turn you in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Again.
She's again
where her
being a
heart
14-year-old,
is.
13-year-old, 14-year-old, whatever she is. 11,
Her heart's
12,
in the right
13.
place. She's 14.
Yeah, she's 14.
Yeah, the boys are 13.
Doing math on my fingers. For those of you not on YouTube, don't watch me count. Yeah, she's 14. But didn't we learn this from the whole Firebolt and Scabbers thing of just talk?
Right.
Eee!
Yeah.
And now she's just threatening them again. I'm like, ugh.
And then he looks behind his shoulders and is like, oh, she's gone. Ooh, I have a plan.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, dude.
Selfish number 2.
Right? God, I have a little bit of it.
Poor Neville.
I know.
He's a total disgrace. And I made a note like, Mulan.
I felt so...
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor on... That's all I could think of reading this.
Oh my God, I love it. Yes.
I went all Mushu Milan here.
Oh my God, yes.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your toad, dishonor on... Like, poor dude.
Oh
He doesn't get to go to Hogsmeade anymore.
No.
And Granny sent a howler.
I know.
He tried to run.
And the fact that out in the hallway just makes it echo even more. Woo, 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 woo. You dishonored your family.
Yeah, he had brought shame on the whole family. Again, I'm going back to Milan
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
I was like,
shame.
at least the boys tried. Like, dude, you see Howler, just sprint. Find the closest door and sprint for your life.
He did. He sprinted into the hallway.
He just didn't make it very far.
Yeah, exactly. Oof, yeah. And then the note that Hagrid sends
Yeah.
to have the kids
boys.
come down. Yep.
The boys.
Well, the boys come down.
Specifically, the boys come down.
And it's written in big capital letters, wait for me.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
Have you met these kids?
I mean, in fairness, they do wait for... Well, in fairness, they meet him. He's already down there.
Yes.
Then they get to his hut, and they're, looking at the clothes and stuff because they'd kind of forgotten about the Buckbeak trial. Him and Meal travel to London together. Who thought taking Buckbeak via the tube to London was a good idea? I mean, he's not getting on the tube. I don't know how he gets Buckbeak down there.
Oh, that's true.
Does he fly
I didn't
him?
think about that.
Above the clouds?
I mean, could he fly him? Because, I
have no
he's
idea.
technically a prisoner, so...
Oh, he booked 2 beds on the night bus. That's it says in the next
on
sentence.
on the
But still,
purple bus.
now between...
Wherever it is, it's
it's
over
somewhere around. It's between a half giant and a hippogriff. Like, you should have booked, 6 beds on the night bus.
Probably.
I don't think 2 is enough. Because Buckbeak
Probably.
ain't small.
No, and neither is Hagrid.
Neither is Hagrid. Yeah. No, I was like, this is why can't just Hagrid go? Just leave Buckbeak.
Right. Well, I think they have to see him, don't they? Or something like that.
They do in 2 chapters, they do.
Oh, okay. Yes, true. Okay.
But yeah, because the kids talk about stealing him. And they're like, no, they've got to see him. Otherwise, Hagrid will just get in trouble.
Right.
Just fair.
Yeah, I
But
suppose.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Buckbeak.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel bad that the boys specifically forget about the case.
Really forgot.
And helping. Like, I understand that they had other things going
They've
on.
had a lot going on.
They wanted to go to Hogsmeade. They want to do all these things. They have their classes.
I'm not calling this a
Quidditch,
selfish check mark. It's not great.
It's sort of
It's forgetful.
Like a half, yeah.
It's teenager forgetful.
Yeah.
It's not.
But it's one of those things that, like, you made a promise. This is where your integrity comes from.
Yeah.
Like, you made a promise to a friend,
Yep.
and not just a friend, but somebody who has been there to save your butt on
Multiple
numerous
times.
occasions. Like, and then you just go and you don't help them. And I think that's hard.
That's not cool.
Nope, for
And
sure.
also, you find out Hermione has been going and visiting him quite a bit.
Yes.
And she has a lot going on, clearly.
Yeah,
And she
she's
made the
got-
time.
Exactly.
I was like, womp womp.
Yep.
I was glad that they felt some pangs of guilt.
Oh, for sure. And
I was
the
like,
fact
oh.
that Hagrid decided to have the conversation with the boys, I think is very important as well.
Yes.
Because, like, saying, hey, your friend is under a lot of pressure, and yet, hey, she's also been helping me because you guys forgot. But, like, having that conversation and going, hey, like, knock it off. Whatever this feud is, just stop it. It's petty at this point.
Or my favorite quote. Well, people can be a bit stupid about their pets, said Hagrid. Hi, Pot, I'm Kettle.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, fair. But, like, he says as he's got Buckbeak sitting behind him on his bed.
Right.
Maybe not the best idea.
Probably. But at the same time, like, they needed to have that wake up call because the fights at this point were getting to a point. And
Well, they get the wake-up call.
yep.
And then immediately, we said it earlier, this is when Hermione says, I'm going to turn you in about the map
Yeah.
if you go to Hogsmeade again. I was
Yep.
like, oh, that's not helping.
No, it doesn't help.
You were just on the verge of starting to repair this friendship, and then whoomph. Whompy
Yeah.
Willow, puff. Like, denied.
I wonder if Lego has a Whomping Willow. Like, does it like move?
Needs to be electronic.
Exactly.
I'm going to petition that.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Put the battery pack in it.
Right? So, like, what the heck's going on with, like, the Hermione thing? Like, there's a lot with Hermione right now, obviously. And,
Nope, take it down, 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 take it down.
Bob is trying to show me the Whomping
Sorry.
Willow Lego. And
There's a big spoiler with that.
it's just like, don't do it.
I'm like, oh no, Christina, don't look, don't look, don't look.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, we saved that one. There's a better one. There's a safe one. Now it's the car in the tree.
Right? Okay. There you go.
That's really funny.
That one's better.
That one's acceptable. The other one, no. Do not go looking. You're
There's
not allowed.
multiple Whomping Willow Legos, just so everybody is aware.
You are not allowed to Google those, ma'am.
Okay. So obviously the invisibility cloak comes back because Harry decides that he's going to be selfish. But having to shake Neville is the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, it is.
I have to go do my paper.
I'll come with you.
I already just did that last night.
And then I got to go to the library to go get it because I forgot it. And I was like,
And how does
and then
Neville
you just disappear.
like-
Where does Neville think you went?
right?
Yeah, I made that note.
I'm like, what
I was
just
like,
happened?
Where did Neville think you go?
Right?
But also, then he gets to Hogsmeade. Well, and then we have a little Snape run in. But
Yeah.
at the same time, but then we finally get to Hogsmeade after our run around, and they go into shoot. They're looking at owls. Oh, they're at the post office looking at the
Yep.
little owls, and there's a teeny tiny little quote unquote local deliveries only of an owl that fits in
That's-
Harry's hand.
That is so adorable.
Like, I need one of these.
I do too, for sure.
I need one of these dinky little owls.
It just sounds adorable.
I'll just send stuff from your house to my house.
Right? Well, so I think I messaged you last night I was reading chapter 15.
Oh,
So we're talking about 14 right now. But I was reading 15 last night, and there was an owl hooting
You had a
just
friend.
outside my window.
We hear them all the time.
I'd never heard one.
Really?
But I think that has to do because I just moved my chair in our bedroom. We have such a big like landscape of our of our bedroom.
No, we can hear them like in the entire house.
Oh yeah, I've never heard
Ours
them
are
before.
so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sit up on like the neighbor's peak or something like that, and all the bedrooms on that side of the house can hear the
Well,
owl.
I can hear all the dogs, but
Yeah, we don't have too many of those yet.
but I haven't heard the owl, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's just so tiny and cute.
so thanks to the invisibility cloak, Harry gets to pretend he's a ghost, which is so funny.
Yes. Yes. He gets to go to the shrinking shack and torment Crabbe and Goyle Malfoy, which is amazing. And
Sorry, I just got a note from Bob saying Water says hello and that he forgot to turn off her light at 8 o'clock.
whoops.
Oops.
It's okay.
Whatever.
But whoa, I hit a button. But we get this note that the shrinking shack. Oh my gosh, why can't I say this night? Shrinking shack is the most haunted dwelling in Britain.
Yeah.
So I did a little 2-second Google of what the most haunted dwelling in Britain actually is.
Yep.
They're all inns,
That's kind of cool.
which is cool.
Yep.
We need to go on a tour.
Yeah, for sure.
But the one that was commonly called the most haunted is this Skrid Inn, Skirrid Inn in Wales. And it's believed to be, it started off as the oldest pub. It goes back 900 years, more than that, as one of the oldest pubs in Wales. And it's mostly one of the most haunted because lots of ghosts. It has a former life of a courthouse, a jail, which had, at that time, saw hundreds of prisoners executed by hanging from the wooden beams that still sit behind the bar.
That's so cool and creepy at the
Yep.
same time.
You want to go do shots off a beam that hundreds
do
of people
it.
died off?
I
hanging
mean,
from?
like, not in that way, but, like, it's neat to have that kind of history.
Yes.
Like,
It's
as
very cool.
horrible as the history is, it's interesting to be able to learn from and to,
fascinating.
like, be
there
able
we
to,
go.
like, yeah, and just kind of see it. And, like, I don't want to be there just to be able to reminisce, like,
Yeah.
there's hundreds of people that died,
That's cool.
however, but like learning about it is neat. And
Yeah.
what can we take away from those kinds of things?
So we'll share the link if you're curious. If you
Yeah.
like haunted dwellings, if you're on YouTube right now, you see them kind of strolling by. And yeah, a lot of them, they're all haunted in different ways. So some of
That's
the
the cool part.
castles are, it's like, well, mistresses were beheaded
Yeah.
here or whatever. Whereas a lot of other ones that are bars, were previously other things. And
Yeah.
It's fascinating. And I
Well,
love it.
and I think we mentioned in another episode a couple weeks back where one of the streets here in Colorado
Yeah,
is
you were
one of the
telling me about
haunted
that.
ones. And I used to drive it all the time. And it's where I grew up, and you see and do crazy things.
I'll have to go.
But yeah.
But we'll share some fun links
Yeah,
of
for
haunted
sure.
stuff because I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And haunted stuff was fun. I had a good friend in Maryland get me into like haunted pub crawls and stuff because
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, not
That's
really
cool.
a big ghost person, but then you get the history of it.
Yep.
And you get to go in some really cool old underground pubs,
Yeah.
and especially in
kinda-
Annapolis where we lived.
yeah.
It's like, this is really cool.
Well, it's kind of like going to New Orleans and
I've
seeing.
never been there.
Oh, it's
an experience?
It's an experience. Like you get a lot of those haunted pub crawls and things like that too, and walking tours and whatnot. But like just seeing all of the like the above ground, not caskets, but the burials,
The grave sites, yeah.
the grave sites. They're all above ground.
Yeah,
and
because the flooding.
you just see them all over the place. They're just everywhere.
We saw him down in Progreso, Mexico,
Okay.
when we were there a couple months ago.
Yeah.
We did a tour, and
Yeah.
there's a bunch of, our oldest was like, what are those? I was like, ooh. So, back home, we bury people underground.
Yep.
That's for diseases. But when you're in a marshy land, you can't do that
Yep.
because then stuff kind
Gotta
of
teach
comes
'em.
flowing, which is also a problem in Annapolis, is because they still did bury people under, and it's still a swamp.
Yeah.
And so in the main circle in Annapolis, there was people buried there, and they're like, yeah, they're now like under the road because they've moved.
Oh,
So
perfect.
they're like, they're not really at their grave markings anymore because of the way the title.
Yeah, everything kind of moves.
The title barriers kind of shift things around. I was like, oh, creepy.
That is kind of creepy.
So as you're walking around, there's remains under your feet.
Yikes.
Okay, cool.
Crazy.
Anyway, so Harry gets to pretend to be a ghost and fling mud at Malfoy.
Like, why mud?
I don't know why mud. Go snow or something.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. But then the cloak comes off. Of course, it has to. Like,
He gets
there's
a little
no
busted.
way he could just not be busted for some reason.
Yes.
So, like, cool. But just having a floating Harry head is
Sounds
actually
amazing.
kind of cool.
Yes. Yes.
Is that part of the movie? Are you going to tell me?
Not gonna tell you.
Oh, fudge. Okay. So then he books it
He sprints.
back to the castle.
Sprints.
And I'm assuming Ron also books it because later on
He comes busting in.
right. But
Look at there.
first we go through the tunnels and everything. Why does he leave the backpack?
Well, he leaves because he doesn't want to get caught with the cloak. He doesn't want anybody to know he has it.
Okay.
Ron, Hermione, and Dumbledore are the only 3 people who know he has this cloak.
Right.
He doesn't want anybody else to know.
But can't he just like put it in a backpack and then just not be able to be seen?
You can still see it's a cloak.
When you look into a backpack, there's no cloak there. It's invisible.
It's not invisible unless you're wearing it.
Okay.
Picture the movies.
Oh,
So it
it's
looked
not
like a-
invisible until he
until
puts
you're
it
wearing
on.
it. Yeah. It just looks like a cloak.
Okay.
It looks like a special cloak, but it looks like a cloak.
That makes more sense. Okay.
So, and in fairness, his hiding spot's not bad.
Right.
And it works out.
True.
But it's not bad because no one else knows about this passageway besides the twins who aren't going to be looking for it. So if you shove it in a corner, like,
Yeah, true.
yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yes, you're not wrong.
So, okay. So then he runs into Snape.
Yeah.
Snape catches him, sort
Yeah.
of. Not necessarily
sort
come
of.
out of. He doesn't see him coming out of the witch.
Yeah.
He just sees him around the witch for a second time.
Again.
Yes.
That's not sketchy.
And then he goes, and I just had a fun talk with Malfoy. Mm-hmm. Like,
Malfoy
come
beat him
on.
back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
Yeah. So now we have this whole conversation with Snape. And all right, I'm just going to read this, not the whole paragraph, but this section. This is Snape talking. But famous Harry Potter is a law unto himself. Let the ordinary people worry about his safety. Famous Harry Potter goes where he wants to with no thought of the consequences. ...
Head.
Not wrong.
Yep. Nail on the head.
Yeah. Selfish number 3. We're
Yeah,
up to 3
something
now?
like that.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, yeah. Then he said his dad has a small amount of talent on a Quidditch field. I was like, oh, stop.
Snape is jealous.
Yes.
Fitzies.
My dad didn't strut, said Harry. Like, they're getting at it.
Yeah, and we get to learn a little bit about Snape and his history of how he knows Harry's dad, James.
My water bottle just made a really funny sound.
Yeah, it did.
That's what that squeak was. Sorry. There's no mouse in here. It's my water bottle.
It's Scabbers!
Hey.
But, like, we get to learn that, like, Snape definitely was on the outside of the popular kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why he has such a grudge. And then he likes to tell this story about how it was actually James and his friends who were playing a trick on Snape. And
That could have resulted in his death.
Right.
And then James got cold feet.
Which, what kind of game was it? And was it actually like something that crazy? Or, oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
No, it was bad.
Okay. So we do get to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But this is nice because I made a little note of like, this is a little bit of a callback to book 1 of, Harry talking about Dumbledore told me he saved your life. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. And it's like, good reminder, Harry, you only got one side of that story.
Yeah.
Like there are 2 sides to every story.
Yeah,
In this case,
for
there's
sure.
like 5 sides to the story.
Yeah.
So like, it's a good reminder of like, yeah, even all knowing Dumbledore doesn't necessarily know everything.
Right.
And so, yeah. But it's a nice callback to the first book.
True.
Have a reminder of that this happened.
But at the same time, it makes you think, was Snape actually saving Harry to repay a debt, or was he doing it for a different reason? Because if he was repaying that doesn't seem like a debt to be repaid if James just had cold feet in this joke that could have happened.
Still saved his life.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know if that in my
Jury's
book is
still out.
really like an actual debt to be repaid kind of a thing. But
We're going to put a pin in that for a couple more chapters.
So then, after we talk to Snape for a little bit and we learn a little bit more things, here comes Lupin to the rescue.
Well, not quite, because
Lupin comes in first.
No.
Oh, the map.
The map first.
The map.
First of all, I was laughing because show yourself, Snape said, tapping it. And I was like, Elsa. Busting the song
funny.
again. I'm on a Disney theme tonight. Show yourself. Like, yeah, I was laughing. I wanted to bust into snowflakes.
I know, right?
But then we get all these messages that are amazing.
And horrible all at the same time.
They're amazing.
And it almost makes me wonder, was it actually James and his friends that made this map now? Because would James talk like that? Like,
I don't know.
Oh, bullshit, you don't know.
Ooh, I'm being all
Sorry.
Disney and you're being all snipey.
Bull wonky. Is that better?
Sure.
Anyways. But the messages are awesome, but at the same time,
They're
they're so
awful.
mean.
They're awful.
They're so mean.
Mr. Mooney presents his compliments to Professor Snape and begs him to keep his enormously large nose out of other people's business. Snape froze. Harry stared dumbstruck, like, uh-oh. And Harry's like, I have no idea what's happening here.
Right?
Like,
Yeah. I would be like, okay, we're not talking. There's no talking. Like, Harry, just keep your mouth shut.
Mr. Prongs agrees with Mr. Mooney and would like to add that Professor Snape is an ugly git. Okay, that one's bad. Mr. Badfoot would like to register his astonishment that an idiot like that ever became a professor.
He's a pretty good
awful.
professor so far, except to Harry.
My turn
And,
to
like,
say bullshit.
in the
He
Gryffindors.
threatened Trevor. He
That's true.
threatened to kill Trevor. He's awful unless you're a Slytherin.
Right. Okay.
Just saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, we don't know how he is with the Ravenclaws or
Yeah,
the
fair.
Hufflepuffs.
Yeah. I bet Harry waited for the final blow. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Mr. Wormtail bids Snape a good day and advises him to wash his hair, the slime ball.
I mean, to be completely honest, Snape's hair is a little greasy looking in the
It is a little
movies.
It's described as greasy every
Yeah.
time, but like,
Yeah.
I have greasy hair, like whatever.
I know, right?
So yeah, then you rang, said Lupin.
Yeah, like he did a powder thingy and
Yeah, we'll learn more about that later.
Came out of the fire pit, which was crazy to me.
Yes, and so then he gets the map, and Harry had the impression Lupin was doing some very quick thinking.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. So, yeah. I made a note. Oh yeah, we already read those. The map. Oh my god! Lupin saves the day, and so he manages to get him away from Snape.
Not before Ron busts in.
Oh right.
Out of breath.
Nowhere. Right on cue.
Gave Harry all of the last. I'm just like, what is he trying to say?
He just sprinted. Mad dash.
Right? Too bad he can't. I'm gonna apparate. I didn't want to say apparitions because that's all that kept coming to my head. Too bad he can't go from one place to the other.
Yes, apparate. Nope.
It would be so much easier.
So then Lupin and the boys leave Snape by himself. And then, Lupin tells him, yes, I know it's a map. And then, now we have it back again. I am, however, this is Lupin talking, I am, however, astounded that you didn't hand it in, particularly after what happened last time a student left information about the castle lying around, i.e. Neville with passwords, and I can't let you have it back, Harry. And now we have 3 people telling Harry that he's being selfish and stupid.
Yep.
And I'm glad Ron was in his presence this time to hear it.
Yep.
To be like, well, maybe Hermione's not totally off her rocker.
Right. Well, I mean, she's off her rocker. However,
For thinking this.
she's
There we
not
go.
completely off her rocker. And I do think that it's interesting that Lupin keeps the map. Not that he keeps the map, but that he knows about the map and where it came from and all of that stuff.
He doesn't know where it came from. He just knows it's a map.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. But
Although, he's doing some quick thinking. Harry knows he knows more than he's
he
saying.
gets to keep the map. So I guess we'll see what happens with the map later.
TBD.
Right.
So, yeah. So then Lupin walks away, quote, leaving Harry feeling worse by far than he had at any point in Snape's office. It's so much worse to let somebody down that you actually value the respect of. It's so much worse.
Oh, for sure.
Just in time to find out Hermione handing them a letter saying that Buckbeak is going to be executed.
Yep.
Not Buckbeak. Little sad face in my notes.
I know, right? And I feel like we need a tally of how many times Harry keeps the cloak in random places and not with him.
Well, we don't have much of a hospital count this time.
I know, not so far.
It's very low. Is it at all? Yes. Draco and Harry each one so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're on to chapter 15.
Woohoo!
The Quidditch final.
Yep.
Honestly, we're going to blow through this chapter. So it
yeah.
doesn't matter. So,
Can we just do it in points real quick?
summary. Hermione. Quidditch.
Yes.
It's the extent of my summary.
That's funny.
Because this chapter, albeit, gets off to a really strong start.
Yep. So
Ron's back on board. Ron's going to take the brunt of doing the rework.
Buckbeak, stuff for the appeal.
Ron's stepping up.
Yep. And so the case obviously got lost. Ron is now going to do all of the stuff. And I was like, Ron is so awkward with Hermione's crying and hugging and
Yes,
all of that. And then I was like, but I'm glad they apologized, accepted / moved on. Because there was apologies.
They have a common enemy again.
I was kind of like, we apologize, sort of. We kind of
My
move
enemy's
on,
enemy is my friend.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So we're back to being friends. Woohoo!
And it's about to get even better.
Yes.
Then they come across Malfoy, Crabbe, and Goyle. I told you you'd like Hermione more in this.
She just wallops Malfoy.
Nails
Just
him.
walks up and slaps him.
Good girl.
Well, not really. I mean, he has to say something stupid first,
Well,
and
then she pulls out her wand and points it at him.
Yep.
Oh.
But Ron is like, no. We can't do that. We can't do that.
I mean, in fairness, last time he pointed a wand at Malfoy who's puking slugs, but
That's true. But his wand was broken, and
Yeah, I know.
Hermione knows what she's doing.
which is so much more dangerous.
Right? Oof.
But I
Yes.
do like this. Hermione, said Ron again, sounding both stunned and impressed.
Right?
And then, a couple sentences later, we're doing charms, said Ron, still goggling at Hermione. And I wrote, he's in love.
Right.
For nailing Malfoy.
He is. And then he was like wanting to hit him. So,
Right.
She
She did what every reader's wanted to do to this point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just
Yep. Just
nail him.
Yep. But they walk up to Charms class,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's gone. Like, where
Yeah,
the
he
hell
can't
did
find
she
her.
go? Like, where? Where did Hermione go? She was there, and then she wasn't. And then they find her, and she is asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so confused.
Yeah, she missed a class. She slept through a class.
Like, she slept through that class, and then she's late to... and then she walks out of
Yeah.
yeah, that one.
Divinations.
That's
I like it that the crystal ball kept having "this is stupid" dripping across it as Harry's looking at it. I thought that was funny. Yeah, that's my second. Hermione
Yep.
is the way she tells off the teacher.
Yeah, Professor Trelawney. I just was like, something is wrong with Hermione. Like, either
She's done.
like, She's over all the bowl.
She's got no F's left.
Nope, none.
There are no F's left to give.
No.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if her stress is getting to her or if it's something more than that. Because, I mean, at that age, you're starting to come into all kinds of hormones and everything as a female, too.
It's the worst.
So I don't know, like, is it partly that on top of all the stress, or is it just because she's and she's just stressed and she's just hitting
I think it's
people?
all of the above.
Know.
No,
it's a little
I
bit
think
of everything.
Yeah,
but
she's overcommitted herself, and teenager.
Right?
Those hormones are oof.
Yeah.
Oof. But yeah. Then we get Hermione swings her bag over her shoulder, almost knocks Ron off his chair. I give up. I'm leaving. And the whole class's amazement, didn't do the whole class's amazement. Hermione strode out, kicked open the door, climbed down the ladder, and out of sight.
How do you kick a door from the floor?
Good question.
Okay.
Unless she started opening it and then schwacked it.
Maybe, I don't know.
I wrote slow clap.
Yep.
Let's stand up for yourself.
Right.
But and then Lavender, didn't you say around Easter one of our number will leave us forever? That's okay, Lavender.
That's not necessarily what she was meaning.
Let's move on. That's not what she insinuated.
It's true. That's for sure. Okay. So then I like the one where there's a scuffle. And I find it funny that when there's scuffles or fights or whatever in the wizard world, you literally have leaks coming out of your ears or you have slugs coming out of your orifices. It's just all of these things. It's just such a weird.
Oh, you talk to snakes, yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a weird thing. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's true.
It's such a weird thing. And then, Harry's dream. Harry has a dream, and he wakes up in the middle of the night.
Where Neville had to play?
Wood was you slept through the thing, and Neville Longbottom had to be the seeker. And I was like, can you imagine Neville being a seeker?
On one of the school brooms.
Oh, my gosh.
Hoping the speed of smell.
Right? I just was oh, yikes.
Oh, that was funny.
Okay, so then we've got two things that happen to the end of this chapter. The weird thing. Crookshanks with the Grim.
With the dog.
The dog. Whatever. The Grim dog, whatever. What the heck is that all about? And the fact that Ron kind of wakes up but then starts snoring again because he fell asleep.
That's awesome.
Come on.
That's something my oldest would too.
Right.
Also, as I said, we are skipping 30 pages here, but I will say, as much as this author hated writing Quidditch, this is a well-written.
It is.
It's very entertaining. There's not much to talk about besides Lee Jordan. You filthy cheating beep.
Yep. It was a dirty game.
It was dirty. And I was we finally have some fouls.
Yeah.
We heard there was a million fouls, but we haven't had fouls yet. And I was oh.
Yeah. There were Madam Hooch was all over.
Oh, she was fiery.
Yeah. She's and then Lee
Jordan.
Lee Jordan is up there commentating. Come on, Angela, keep going. Somebody slug the other guy back.
Yeah.
But it was such a dirty, dirty game.
But it was well written. It was entertaining to read. There's not a lot of content there.
Yep.
Other than Malfoy's still a jerk. Fine.
But can we say it? Gryffindor wins!
They win! Woo! And I like that how this chapter finishes is the most uplifting line.
Yeah.
That Harry felt he could have produced the world's best Patronus.
Yeah. Yep.
That's amazing.
I thought that was awesome.
Well done, Harry.
Yep.
He's feeling good.
And they won the cup. They finally got the cup. So
Yay.
I think that's awesome.
And a bunch of points.
Yeah.
Woo. Are we gonna earn the house cup for real this time?
The Quidditch cup?
Yes.
Okay, because I was confused. I was I know that they also have a house cup.
Yes.
But this is the Quidditch cup that they
Not the
won.
same.
Okay.
If memory serves, there are points that come along with the Quidditch cup towards the house cup, but whatever.
Yep.
It's a Quidditch cup.
Woo!
So I finally won.
Yes.
And now we're on chapter 16.
Yay!
Professor Trelawney's prediction.
I'm not a big fan of her.
So my little summary is test time.
Yeah.
Come again, Trelawney?
Right?
Not Buckbeak.
Ugh.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah, first, everyone's on the edge. Percy is become increasingly on edge. Hermione is short and asking people where her books are and
Right.
doubled up on all of her tests, which
Seems a
Cool.
little odd.
that sucks. And then I laughed at this, that Hermione said they're bringing the executioner to the appeal. That sounds like they've already decided. And Ron says they can't. I've spent ages reading up on this stuff. They can't ignore it. And I was like, oh, it's too true.
I read
That's
that
life.
too. I was like, I love that Ron just thinks because he has spent ages reading
Somebody's
up,
gonna care.
they just can't ignore his information. Like, that's just not happening here.
Welcome to college.
Exactly.
You study all the wrong things.
But something that I looked up, because I don't usually look anything up,
Next books.
but cloudless and sultry. This is something we talked about just before.
Cloudless or cloudy?
So in here at the very beginning, it talks about, where are you?
I'm just one page in.
Where they want to go outside. Okay, here. So as June approached, the days become cloudless and sultry,
Cloudless,
and
okay.
all anybody felt like doing was strolling onto the grounds and flopping down on the grass with several pints of iced pumpkin juice.
That
And
sounds
I was
awful.
like, sultry seems like a weird word to put for that. And so I looked it up because I was like, I only know of one way that sultry is, and it
Adult.
ain't this. It's very adult. And so I read it, and it describes, or it's a description for humidity and closeness and airless feeling.
So the Midwest is very sultry,
Yes.
which is why we left.
And I never realized that it was
Yeah.
used that way.
Me neither.
And I was like, because when I think of it in that term, I was like, oh, so it's kind of like just a really nice day. It's like a really just kind of feel good day. I don't know. But yeah, so definitely not. And then the owl and newt tests sound horrendous. Like they sound worse. That like I failed my ACTs like straight up 13. It was bad. It's cool. Whatever. I've said it a million times. I'm definitely not
Testing.
learning and testing. But these like
I mean, in fairness, I was I don't test well. I was so freaked out about it. I took the SATs twice and
Okay.
the ACTs once.
Oh, nice.
In hopes that at least once I would get a decent score.
Right. But like these tests, like if you don't get it, you like the name of the newt test is horrible. Like I didn't
Trying
bring
to
my
remember
book.
what Newt stands for.
I didn't bring my book, or else I
Shoot,
would've
I
put
should
it
know
here.
that one. There we go.
Nastily.
Exhausting wizard tests.
Yeah, like ew.
I forgot about that.
Why? Ew.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they just sound horrible.
I mean, the state test doesn't actually prove anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, Percy wants to become part of the ministry.
Yeah, you gotta do halfway decent.
It makes me feel like they're very religious when we say that ministry portion.
It's
Anyways.
very British. Very British.
But anyways, as we keep going on throughout more chapter, like more in this chapter, more pages, we're just learning about all of the tests and how they feel like they're doing and things like that. And Harry obviously gets to fail Snape's test.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and Care Magical Creatures is boring.
yeah.
Keep the stupid
I
little
mean,
flubber worm alive.
You can't blame Hagrid for feeling the way he
But
is.
Lupin's final sounds freaking amazing.
I know.
I want to go do that
Okay,
test.
so before we get there, really
Okay,
quick.
sorry.
Okay, so
I'm excited about
what
that test.
happens if they fail a test?
I have no idea.
Like if Snape really gave Harry a 0 in his test,
I
what
have no idea.
happens? Okay, it doesn't say anywhere ever.
I mean, we will get references later to students who have to retake a grade, but I don't think
Okay.
that's if you fail a test.
Okay.
I think that's you epically fail at all
Right.
of them.
Okay.
Then redo.
Yeah. Okay, so Lupin's test. They get to go through all of
Sounds
these crazy
amazing.
things. Super cool. Harry passes.
It's outside. It's an obstacle course.
Yeah. And it really is. And Harry passes. Woohoo! Ron gets confused by the confusing people.
Yeah. And then Hermione.
Hermione's.
The Bogart is exactly what we thought it was.
Yep. Professor McGonagall.
Saying she failed.
Everything.
Because we never got to see her gosh, I almost said Bogart. Her Bogart earlier on.
Right.
We never got to see it. So we are hypothesizing as to what it could be. We were, dead on.
It just makes me laugh that it really is Professor McGonagall. Like, how is that your, like, most afraid thing?
I mean, at 14, I can see it.
Well, and it being Hermione, so.
Yeah.
I mean, people pleaser all the way right there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, especially with school. Whew.
Yeah. But then we get more information about Hagrid.
Yeah. So Fudge comes.
Well, before that, like, they're still hoping to be able to do the appeal and everything.
Yeah, no.
And
well, it's right after Lupin's final. They meet Fudge in the entrance hall, and Ron's like beside himself that Harry's on a first name basis with the Minister of Magic.
Yeah,
which is funny because they forgot that they hung out the leaky cauldron for a day.
Right. Yep.
So,
and then Ron, or Harry, like the test for Trelawney. It takes forever, and then Ron feels like he's like, I just started making things up.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool, okay.
But I like, as each person climbed down, they all asked, what did she ask? Is it okay? And then Neville, she said, if I tell you, I'll have a horrible accident. Squeaked Neville as he ran away. I'm like, all right, that's clever. Well done.
He's going to have an accident anyways, no matter if he says anything or not.
Right. Truth. He's going to trip over a step on the way out.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, I thought that was funny.
But then I like how Harry decides to like fudge the same thing with like Ron and pretends to see Buckbeak alive.
Yeah.
And Trelawney's like, are you sure you don't see X, Y, and Z? And Harry's like, no, I don't. No, I see this.
So first Trelawney asks him, does the hippogriff appear to have its head? Yes, said Harry firmly. Are you sure? Are you quite sure? You don't see it withering around on the ground, perhaps a shadowy figure with an axe behind it? Yikes!
Right?
Like, yikes!
Yep.
Good Lord. No blood? No weeping Hagrid? No, it's flying away. Disappointing. Like, good Lord. Get a life, woman.
I know. I'm not a fan of her, but
that was awful.
Way. Yep.
That was like Snape level awful.
Oh, for sure.
Tormenting.
Yep. For sure. No.
And now we get the...
So then we get the creepiness from Trelawney.
I will read it.
So freaking creepy.
So it says, then Professor Trelawney spoke again in a hushed voice quite unlike her own. Sorry, the same harsh voice. There we go. Quite unlike her own. The Dark Lord lies alone and friendless, abandoned by his followers. His servant has been chained these 12 years. Tonight, before midnight, the servant will break free and set out to rejoin his master. The Dark Lord will rise again with his servant's aid, greater and more terrible than ever before. Tonight, before midnight, the servant will set out to rejoin his master. Dun, dun, dun.
I have theories on who the servant is, but we'll leave that for a second. Oh, you want to do it now?
I mean,
I think it's Buckbeak. Because they're going to kill him. Mm-hmm. And he's been chained.
But not for 12 years.
Into a hippogriff. Like, we don't know how long Buckbeak's been.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So, for him to be released...
Somebody's going to free him?
Yeah. Like, well, Malfoy's henchman.
Oh, Crabbe and Goyle?
No, the... not Malfoy. Not little Malfoy.
Oh, Malfoy Sr.
Yeah. Lucius.
You think they'll free him instead of kill him?
Yes.
Okay.
They'll like get him out of the hippogriff or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's my
like
theory.
He's a person in a
inside. Look, kind of like we were talking about with Crookshanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see that's wrong, but that is my theory.
I'm trying so hard, people. So I'm going to say it's a really good theory, and
Ooh, cool.
it's It's impressive. It is not quite
It's not
correct,
correct.
but
Okay.
dang, you've got the right string.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So that's all I'm gonna
because
say.
the only thing I can think of is like that's how they are releasing it.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, okay, well, maybe that's what it is. Okay, so after Trelawney's creepiness, we
Sorry, I'm making faces at the people on YouTube.
we get back into with Ron and with Hermione, and we're about to tell them about Trelawney,
Yeah.
but we never get the chance.
No. Harry keeps getting cut off in this
I know,
section of chapters.
but
Buckbeak lost.
yeah, he lost, which is horrible.
Yes.
Poor Hagrid. Like, I just feel so badly for Hagrid.
So
Like, come on. Okay.
Also, because this is the first class he ever taught. Like,
Yeah.
not only, like, obviously his attachment, people can be a bit stupid about their pets.
Right.
His attachment to animals aside.
Yeah.
Like, was his first day, first class that he had a kid do something stupid. He had Malfoy do something stupid.
Malfoy deserved it. And didn't even get hurt. Come on.
Right.
Such a
Accurate.
jackwagon.
And then, yeah.
But I love that they're making the plan to go and get the cloak. Well, Hermione just decides to go
runs
and,
and goes
she
and
just
gets
goes and gets it.
Which is pretty smart.
Yeah. And then they go and they want to sit with Hagrid and be with him. And I totally understand where, like, I get where their hearts are with it. But I also, the end of that chapter.
We'll get there. Yep. So there's a quote I underlined in this one. That they get to Hagrid's hut.
Yep.
Hagrid, you shouldn't have come. And nobody's saying this. This is just the narrator. The helplessness was worse to watch than tears.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Well, this is Harry's thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, it's worse to watch him not know what to do with
He
himself.
looked like a
and him
man who
shaking.
did not know who he was or what to do.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. That's hard.
Yeah.
And for a 13-year-old to be able to see and understand that, like, not a lot of kids are emotionally mature enough to understand that Hagrid is going through something right now. And
He's struggling to show it.
Right.
And
And
that's what,
unfortunately, there's not a lot people can do for that except to just be there when that person needs the help. But he breaks the milk. The milk jug breaks. Hermione goes to help him to make the tea and everything.
she starts crying. I
Yep,
was like,
she starts.
"Aw."
And at first, I thought she was crying for a different reason. Like when she goes to reach in, I thought maybe she'd like feel something or like whatever.
Something else in there.
Yeah, and then you don't, like, you know that she's crying because of everything that's about to happen and whatnot. And then
Scabbers!
just like is in a jug of milk.
Ron gasped at her. What are you talking about? Like,
He's just hanging out in a jug of milk, I guess.
I mean, not in the milk.
Well, that's how it kind of makes it sound. They don't say where he is. He's in,
Oh, he was in the milk.
like, but is there
gross.
milk in it?
Well, it says Hermione carried the milk jug over to the table, turned it upside down. With a frantic squeak and much scrambling to get back inside, Scabbers the rat came sliding out onto the table. So, yes, he was in a jug of milk. Weird. I don't know if there's milk in it or not. It doesn't say.
Yeah, it
If she
doesn't-
flipped it upside down, I'm going to guess no.
Right.
But weird.
Yeah.
How long has he been in there?
I know, right? Like, how did he even get there?
And then why was there blood on the sheets then? Whose blood was it?
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Crookshanks.
Oh.
I have no idea.
I think Hermione would have said something.
Maybe.
If Ron's accusing her and her cat's the one
True.
that's hurt.
Right, true.
Pretty sure she's going to say something.
So Scabbers is alive, but just barely.
Oh, poor rat's
Like-
been through some stuff.
Yeah. And then he does not want to leave. He gets shoved into a pocket as everybody's coming down to the hut.
Like he usually is. Like, see,
Yeah.
Ron constantly carries around in his pocket.
Right.
Like, why is he being all weird about this?
Yeah, like something is going on. He does not want to be in the castle, and it has more to do with. It has more than Crookshanks probably to do with it. And why is he losing so much weight and like hair and like what is going on with this
I mean,
rat?
he's a rat. And he's old.
Yeah, but
He was Percy's.
still. But yeah, then the people come and Hagrid.
Is it that he doesn't want to go back to the castle, or is that he doesn't want to be with Ron?
Well, why wouldn't he want to be with Ron?
I don't know.
Like,
I'm just asking.
it's a weird question because like he's been with Ron for so long. So is Ron making him sicker by giving him this like rat stuff, or I don't know.
I don't know. It's
Now
just
you're
weird that
making
like
me
even
wonder.
way down at Hagrid's hut, like he's losing the poor rat's losing his mind and
Right.
doesn't know where he's going. He's in a pocket.
Right.
I don't know. Just food for thought.
Interesting. So then Hagrid gets him out the back door.
They sneaky
Gets
sneak.
the cloak on. Hagrid tells them to leave. And I actually thought they were going to stay. I honestly, in my mind as I was reading, I was like, Hagrid doesn't realize they're going to just end up staying.
In fairness,
And-
I think Harry would have. I think Harry and Ron might have. It's Hermione the whole time begging
Yep.
them to get out of there.
Yep.
Because first you have Hermione, please let's hurry. I can't stand it. Then a sentence later, oh, please, Ron, she begged as he's fighting with Scabbers. And then Hermione again, oh, Ron, let's move. They're going to do it.
Right.
Like
And-
she's the one pushing them away. I think the boys might have stayed.
but at the same time, she's the one that wanted to go down there.
Yeah, for
And
Hagrid.
be
That
there
doesn't mean
for
she wants to
Hagrid
be.
and to stay there for Hagrid. Like
part of
she's
it.
the one that went and got the cloak and she wanted to like sit with him and everything. So like in my mind, I don't understand why she pushed so hard to go and then now she's pushing so hard to leave.
Maybe it's one of those in the moment.
Maybe.
And that's partly why she started crying.
Yeah.
Is because she thought she wanted to be there and then it got too real.
Yeah.
That'd
That's
be
very possible.
hard.
Yeah.
That'd
It
be
would
hard.
be. I mean, it's like if you have to put down a dog.
I was about to
or
say,
something
I
like
have
that. I've-
laid on a vet floor with 2 dogs.
I have two.
I've done it twice.
Two
like,
dogs. Yep.
It's the worst.
It's hard
It's
for
the
sure.
worst. But especially when they're your pet. You're
Yeah.
there.
For sure. Though this is happening a completely different way than
Yes.
we ever did our dogs. Not saying we axed our dogs because we would never do that.
Oh, my poor
But-
puppies.
Like, because I did it with 2 puppies too, and
I know.
like,
Snuggle on the floor.
yep. But it's one of those like it puts you in the feels, and it just kind of like I literally wrote in big capital letters. I was like, oof, that was a tough chapter.
Yeah, and Hermione swayed on the spot.
Yeah.
Like, oof. Girl was not ready for that.
Nope. But I think that they also thought they would be a lot farther away when it first happened.
And thanks to Scabbers.
Right?
I dropped my book.
Can't keep them in the pocket. But yeah, that was a hard chapter. And
Yeah.
I definitely feel for
Yeah.
them. But at the same time, like, now it makes me wonder, did they actually kill him? Did they not? Like, because all you hear is it, like, hit something with a
Thunk.
thunk. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, now what actually happened?
Yep.
Anyways, so next week, we only have a couple more chapters, dude.
Yeah,
And then the
we have
movie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more chapters until we do the movie.
Yep.
So that's 3 more
Episodes
recordings.
plus the movie.
I'm not doing two 3-fers with these last chapters. That would be bad. So next week, chapter 17 and 18.
Yep.
Chapter 17, I'm going to look at you as I say this, is a cat, a rat, and a dog. And chapter 18 is Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs.
Okay.
So you're ready for some answers? Because we're in our
Yes.
sprint for the finish.
Woo!
Except for this time, the sprint is 1, 2, 3, like 4 chapters
Yeah.
instead of 1, like
Yeah.
the first 2 books.
Well, we get Hermione's answers and things like that towards the end as well. So,
You got to wait till the very final recording for to do that.
Yeah. but yeah, I'm excited. We're going to get these done and
Watch a movie.
you watch the movie. Yeah.
We're gonna have fun. And we did not run super far over time. We talked really fast.
I know we did.
Proud of us.
Woohoo!
We skipped over Quidditch. Sorry.
Well, we also did not talk too much at the beginning either.
Yeah. So what are we going to talk about now? We got time.
We should probably let them go. They have other things to do. They don't want to hang out with us.
You've made it this many episodes in with us. It's fine.
Well, we could talk about these really quick.
We got our
sweatshirts. We both
on.
have our sweatshirts on.
I don't blend in with the wall this week.
I know, right? But pretty soon we will have, I think by the time this comes out in like 2 months, maybe not. I could be completely wrong.
Are you putting a timeline on us?
I'm not.
Your husband just put a timeline on us.
Yes, he did.
So we had our first, I put this in the Facebook post for the episode that came out this week, but I said we had our first business meeting.
Yep.
The 4 of us, which fun. Had dinner. And some really good mead.
Yeah. And I usually don't like mead, so
this was a good one.
It was really good.
Go to Idaho Springs. It's amazing. But yeah, so we got some fun stuff coming.
Yep.
And one of those things is adding some merch to the website.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
I'm very excited.
And
we're going to start small. So just bear with us while we figure all this out.
Yep.
But we're excited.
Yeah.
We have some fun, like little quotes for stickers or maybe keychains or something. My favorite is I got a sticker and I put it on my water bottle at work that says introverted but willing to talk about books.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
That's my life.
Yep.
So we'll have some fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
That I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Just have to go check it out.
And we'll definitely make sure if it's not out by this episode, we will let you know.
Very shortly.
We will let you know.
Oh, trust me. Y'all will know.
Yep. So
but we got fun sweatshirts and we've been getting funny looks. I got something on my sweater.
I had multiple people ask me today about it, so hopefully people go check us out.
They're cute.
I gotta hand out something so that people can remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, sweet.
So tell your friends about us. We're having fun.
Yes.
And we're gonna mix it up here. You have to wait for that.
Yes, we will tell you that.
We have some exciting news next week, I think.
Yes, probably next week. Yeah.
Christine will have exciting news for us next week. Putting her on the spot.
Okay. Okie dokie. Well, everybody have a good rest of your week. And we'll see you guys.
It's Monday. Hopefully this is a good start to your Monday. It's always a good start to my Monday.
Yeah.
Because we listen too.
Yes, we do. We want to make sure we're not being dummies.
Well, I'm not promising that.
That's true. We got to have some fun.
It's fun.
So,
cool.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thanks for joining us for this episode. If you had fun, please follow, download, and review this podcast on your preferred listening platform.
If you're ready for the next chapter, join the spoiler-free conversation on our Facebook group. Search You Haven't Read What? The podcast.
Or on Instagram and YouTube for exclusive videos and behind-the-scenes content. Have a great week.
And we'll catch you on the next page.